Hi story seekers. Welcome back to Stories Upon Stories, where we dive into the most fascinating and jaw-dropping tales from around the world. Today, we unravel a story so bizarre and audacious, it will keep you on the edge of your seat. This is the true story of Frédéric Pierre Bourdin, the master of deception and the chameleon con artist who fooled families, authorities, and the world. Our story begins in a small village in France in 1974. Frédéric Pierre Bourdin was born into a troubled family, and his early years were marked by instability and neglect. Seeking escape, Bourdin developed an unusual talent from a young age. He could assume new identities with remarkable ease. This talent would become both his curse and his calling. Bourdin's first known deception occurred when he was just a teenager. He ran away from home and began adopting false identities, claiming to be a lost or abused child. His youthful appearance and convincing performances often led authorities and strangers to believe his stories. This ability to transform himself into someone else became Bourdin's ticket to a life of crime. In the early 1990s, Bourdin's deceptions grew bolder and more intricate. He traveled across Europe, assuming dozens of identities and weaving elaborate tales of hardship and survival. He posed as orphans, runaway teens, and abuse victims, often being taken in by unsuspecting families or child welfare services. His knack for deception earned him the nickname, the Chameleon. One of Bourdin's most audacious cons took place in 1997 in Spain. He claimed to be Nicholas Barkley, a missing teenager from San Antonio, Texas, who had vanished 3 years earlier. Despite his French accent and different appearance, Bourdin convinced authorities that he was Nicholas. He spun a harrowing tale of abduction and abuse, which led to him being placed in the care of the Barkley family. The Barkley family, desperate for their lost son, accepted Bourdin into their home, seemingly ignoring the glaring inconsistencies. Bourdin dyed his hair and used a variety of tricks to conceal his true identity. For several months, he lived with the Barkleys, attending school and attempting to integrate into their lives. His deception was so convincing that he even fooled Nicholas's friends and teachers. The key to Bourdin's success was his attention to detail. He studied every aspect of Nicholas's life, learning his mannerisms, habits, and even intimate family details. Bourdin's commitment to the role was extraordinary, and he played it to perfection. However, the cracks in Bourdin's story began to show. A private investigator and an FBI agent, suspicious of Bourdin's behavior and discrepancies in his story, conducted a deeper investigation. Eventually, DNA tests and fingerprint analysis confirmed what they feared. Bourdin was not Nicholas Barkley. In February 1998, Bourdin was arrested and his true identity revealed. The Barkleys were devastated, and the case garnered international media attention. Bourdin was sentenced to 6 years in prison for his deception. But even behind bars, he couldn't resist the urge to adopt new identities, creating chaos within the prison system. Upon his release, Bourdin continued his life of deception, assuming numerous false identities across Europe. His ability to deceive and manipulate people seemed almost limitless. Despite being caught multiple times and serving various prison sentences, Bourdin's compulsive need to be someone else drove him to keep repeating his cons. In 2005, Bourdin's story took another strange turn. He posed as Francisco Hernandez, a 15-year-old Spanish orphan, and was taken in by a youth home in France. This time, his deception was short-lived, as his true identity was quickly discovered, and he was arrested once again. By this point, Bourdin had assumed over 500 false identities, each time reinventing himself with a new backstory and persona. His motivations were complex. Some speculated he sought love and acceptance, while others believed he enjoyed the thrill of outsmarting authorities and living on the edge. In 2007, Bourdin married a French woman and seemed to settle down, but his past continued to haunt him. Despite efforts to lead a normal life, his compulsions remained strong. He would occasionally resurface with new deceptions, though none as high profile as the Nicholas Barclay case. Let's delve deeper into the life and mind of Frédéric Bourdin. Understanding the roots of his behavior offers insights into his extraordinary, albeit criminal, career. Bourdin's childhood was not just troubled, it was a breeding ground for his future escapades. He was born to an absentee father and a mother who struggled with her own issues, leaving him with a deep sense of abandonment and a yearning for identity and belonging. As a child, Bourdin often fantasized about being someone else. His imagination, combined with a lack of stable parental guidance, fueled his desire to escape reality. By the time he was a teenager, Bourdin had already begun running away from home and creating new personas. His ability to adapt and transform himself into different identities became more refined over time. Bourdin's interactions with various authorities and welfare systems provided him with invaluable experience. He learned how to manipulate adults and exploit the system's vulnerabilities. This knowledge was crucial when he decided to take on more challenging and risky deceptions. His success in impersonating Nicholas Barclay was a testament to his skills. Bourdin didn't just memorize details about Nicholas. He immersed himself in the persona, understanding the psychological aspects of the role. He manipulated the emotions of those around him, preying on their hopes and vulnerabilities. The Barclays, desperate to believe their son had returned, overlooked the discrepancies and accepted Bourdin with open arms. But why would someone go to such lengths to deceive others? Bourdin's motivations were multifaceted. At the core was a profound sense of emptiness and a desire for acceptance. By becoming someone else, he temporarily filled the void within himself. Each new identity was a chance to start fresh, to be someone important and loved. However, Bourdin's actions were not without consequences. His deceptions left emotional scars on those he fooled, especially the Barclays. The psychological impact on a family already traumatized by the loss of their son was immense. Bourdin's ability to manipulate emotions and situations revealed a dark side to his intelligence and adaptability. After his release from prison in 2003, Bourdin faced the challenge of reintegrating into society. His notoriety made it difficult for him to assume new identities, but his compulsions didn't wane. In 2004, he surfaced in France, posing as a 14-year-old French boy named Léo Bali who had gone missing a decade earlier. Despite significant age differences, Bourdin managed to convince authorities and the boy's family, albeit briefly, before being exposed once again. In 2005, he tried his hand in Spain, posing as Francisco Hernandez. His stint in the youth home was short-lived, but it highlighted his relentless pursuit of deception. Each time he was caught, Bourdin faced legal consequences, yet the pattern of behavior persisted. In a twist of fate, Bourdin married a French woman named Isabelle in 2007. For a while, it seemed he might settle into a conventional life. The couple had children, and Bourdin appeared to embrace his role as a husband and father. But the shadows of his past loomed large. His marriage was strained by his notoriety and the lingering tendencies to slip into false personas. In 2014, Bourdin was convicted again, this time for falsely claiming to be a young boy named Jimmy Sale. The brief stint as Sale was yet another testament to Bourdin's inability to resist the lure of deception. His actions continued to baffle psychologists and criminologists, who studied his case to understand the complexities of his psyche. Throughout his life, Bourdin was a subject of fascination for the media and the public. Documentaries, books, and interviews explored his life, trying to piece together the motivations behind his relentless deceptions. One such documentary, The Imposter, released in 2012, provided a gripping account of Bourdin's impersonation of Nicholas Barclay. The film highlighted the eerie reality of his crimes and the profound impact on the victims. Frédéric Bourdin's story is a chilling reminder of the dark side of human nature. His ability to reinvent himself and manipulate those around him was both extraordinary and terrifying. Bourdain's life is a testament to the complexities of identity, the deep-seated need for belonging, and the extreme lengths some will go to in order to escape their own reality. And there you have it, Story Seekers, the extended, true story of Frédéric Pierre Bourdin, the Chameleon Con Artist. A tale of extraordinary deception, human vulnerability, and the lengths some will go to in order to reinvent themselves. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more incredible tales. Until next time, keep seeking stories and stay vigilant. This is Stories Upon Stories, signing off. Stay safe out there, and remember, sometimes the most extraordinary stories come from the most unexpected places. See you in the next video.